Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to make this beautiful floating frame. I'm using the Magnolia stamp set along with the Magnolia dies. Let me show you those really quick. Okay, so this is the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. And we're using this big flower right here, and then along with the journey of life is best shared with a friend, and we'll get through this together. I just love that, especially for this time right now. And then also this little flower as well. And then this is the Magnolia Memories dies. This coordinates with the stamp set, and you can purchase this in a bundle and save 10%. So let's go ahead and stamp. Let's do that first. Okay, so let me get my Whisper White. I have my flowers and my greeting here. We're going to grab the Memento ink. Stamp the greeting. And then also the little flower. Now I will say that I stamped 4 of the flowers and 2 of the large flowers. But I'm just going to cut out these right here to show you exactly what I did. Okay, so there's our stamped images. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab the big shot. Okay, so we're going to use the dies. We're going to use these 2 from the Magnolia Memory die. I'm going to cut out the big flower first. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so then next I'm going to use this, let me see here, this is the one I'm going to use for the greeting. These are the rectangle dies, the stitched rectangle dies. And we're going to cut out this greeting here. So I went ahead and cut out the flowers ahead of time. And I cut 4 of the small ones and 2 of the larger ones. And then you're also going to need a piece of petal pink for the base of the card, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then a piece of Whisper White. You can cut 2 of them if you want, one for the inside, one for the front. These are cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so first we're going to go ahead and arrange our flowers the way we want them to look on the card to form that floating frame look. And I always find positioning the bigger ones first is a little bit easier. Now I'm going to be cutting this center part out, so I want to kind of position the flowers where I'm getting the most flower to show around for the frame so it doesn't get cut off. Okay, so now this is the trick to this technique. We're going to use this Glad Press and Seal. You can get this at your local grocery store. I went ahead and tore this piece off and cut it down to size so it's a little bit more manageable. And you'll notice with this press and seal, there's one side that's a little bit sticky and then the other side that's not sticky. So the sticky side is like a Post-it note, so it's not like permanent. So I want the sticky side, and I'm going to take my fingernail, make sure that's the sticky side. I'm going to put the sticky side down, and I did not put any adhesive on my flowers. I just positioned them where I want them on the card, and that actually looks really good. So I'm going to take my press and seal, and I'm going to press that onto the card base. Just like that. And then I'm going to gently pick this up with the cardstock, and I'm going to flip this over, and then I'm going to trim out the base of this layer here. So let me grab my scissors. So let me go ahead and do that. Now I didn't color my flowers, which I'll color my flowers after I cut everything out. Okay, so now we're going to grab our big shot again. Okay, so making sure the press and seal is adhered to the pieces, because this is what's going to keep this in place for us. So I'm going to grab the stitched rectangle dies again, and I'm going to use the next size up, which is this one right here. And I'm going to position this right where I want it on the card. So I'm trying to position it so I don't lose too much of this flower right here. Let me see. Let me position it up here. That looks actually pretty good. All right, so we're going to grab some washi tape, and I'm going to put a couple pieces of the washi tape along this die. And this is because every Big Shot or die cutting machine is calibrated slightly different. And I noticed that when I made the cards before, that the press and seal stuck to my images and it tore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the press and seal and the images from the Whisper White base, like that. And then that washi tape is keeping that die in place. So this is kind of making a thinner layer, so the press and seal will act like a Post-it note and not rip my images. So I'm going to go ahead and send that through the Big Shot. Okay, so then we're going to remove the washi tape and our cutout image. Just like that. Okay, so now you're left with your frame part of your card. So let's go ahead and move the Big Shot. Oh, and you want to keep this piece. You can make that into another card if you want. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take our layer. And now this is a smaller piece, but I think I can still get a dimensional or a mini dimensional on that. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals, and I'm going to layer the dimensionals all over the backing of these pieces. Okay, so we have our dimensional backings off of our pieces here. Now we're going to take that Whisper White piece, and we're going to layer the Whisper White on top of this section here. Press and seal is still on this base right here, so we're going to peel that off. And you want to move it slowly so it doesn't rip the cardstock. It shouldn't. And then this is why you want to put dimensionals, so that holds the pieces together right where they were cut from that layer. Okay, and there's your floating frame. And of course, this card looks so amazing in person, and on camera it's not really doing its justice, but I already have one done here, and I went ahead and colored it. So then I would color the flowers when it's done with the press and seal and everything. So let me show you the colors that I used for that. So I used the Mango Melody for the center of the magnolias, the Old Olive in the combo, and then also the Petal Pink in the combo. So I used those Stampin' Blends to color in my flowers, which this one is totally done. And then the greeting that we cut out is going to be popped up and put in the center of that. So let me use some more dimensionals. I'm going to use lots of dimensionals for this card. Okay. I'm just going to pop this up in the center. Let me see how I want this. Maybe like this. So beautiful. And then we're going to layer this onto the Petal Pink. Let me grab my snail. So pretty. All right, then one more thing that I did do to my card is I put some Wink of Stella on the flowers, on the petals, and then also on the inside of the center. So let me go ahead and do that. So pretty. Oh, I love it. Okay, so then what else you could do is you could add some basic pearls or some basic rhinestones to the background of the empty space where you see more Whisper White. And then here's the other one. Aren't they beautiful? All right, so if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll have all the items listed below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.